Welcome to this video on data analysis and presentation. So for this first part, we'll be talking about measures of central tendency. So these are very important basic concepts of statistical analysis, right? So let's go to this example. Let's say that your question is, what is the mean monthly number of customers going to CECs in region 5? All right, so mean is also one way of saying average. So the word average is the, let's say, the more layman's term for the word mean, right? And because of this question, we run again into the concepts of population and sampling, right? So let's say that the population here is the population of all community e-centers in region 5. Let's say, for example, that in region 5 there are around 50 community e-centers, right? So for practical purposes, as a researcher, it will be very difficult, if not impossible, for you to do a study of all CECs. So that's why we will go into sampling. We'll just get a sample of CECs and we will do our study from there. So because we are just using samples of CEC, maybe in this case just 2 CECs, we are just doing an estimate actually of the mean, the actual mean in the population. So we are going to compute for the mean of a sample, and this mean of the sample will estimate the so-called true mean that you will find in the population, right? So the very important concept here is the concept of the mean, okay? So which is a concept of central tendency. So the mean of a sample population is designated by this term, x bar, right? And the general formula for the mean, for computing the mean, is to getting the summation of all observations divided by the number of observations. So let's say that in answering this question, you get a sample population of CEC. So you get 2 CEC, CEC-A and CEC-B. And because the question is, what is the mean monthly number of customers? So let's say that you got data of the number of people going to the CECs for 12 months. Let's say this is January to December. So for example, you got data from CEC-A. These are the data that you got. So these are your observations, the x's, right? And then the number of observations is 12 for one every month, okay? So in getting the mean, you just get the summation, or you total all the observations. So in this case, the total number of observations, on CEC-A is 312, right? In CEC-B, you also got the individual observations for every month of the year. And if you total them, well, luckily enough, you get the same total, the same summation, which is also 312. So you for CEC-A and CEC-B, you have the same mean, right? So for example, you put the summation of x here, which is 312, and then you divide it by 12, which is the number of observations, and the answer is 26. So x bar, or the mean number of monthly customers in CEC-A for 1 year is 26, and the mean number of monthly customers in CEC-B is also 26. So now let's go to 2 other concepts of central tendency. The first one is the median. The median is basically what we call the centermost value in an ordered array of values. So it means ordered because you have to rearrange the values that you've got in your data from highest to lowest. So this is what I did, for example, for CEC-A. I ordered the values from highest to lowest, and the same thing for CEC-B, lowest to highest. So you can get the median out of that. So one quick way of getting the median, once you've already ordered your values, is to do this. Go from the edges to the center, there. Since our total number of values is an even number, 12, you will end up with two middle values, 23 and 28 in this case. So you have to get the average of these two numbers, 23 plus 28 divided by 2. So in this case, the median for CECA is 25.5, meaning the median monthly number of customers is 25.5, okay, for CECA. So if you do the same thing for CECB, the median, 23 plus 25 divided by 2, is 24, right? And the mode describes the most commonly seen individual measurements in an array, in an ordered array. So for example, in CECA, the most commonly seen figures are 20, it appears twice. And in this case, also 28, it appears twice. So you actually have two figures in the mode. So this is what we call a bimodal set of measurements, because you have two modes, 20 and 28 for CECA. For CECB, the two most common measures are 17 here and then 25. So that's bimodal. So looking at this measure central tendency, you see that for both CECA and CECB, the mean are the same. The means are the same, 26. But if you look at other central tendency measures like the median, you will see that there's a difference. For CECA, it's 25.5. For CECB, the median is 24. And of course, the modes are also different. So, in summary, measures of central tendency are those measures that you will see where a cluster of different measures tend to converge at a central value. So in this case of CECA and CECB, the mean is 26. So you can say that at least for the samples of CECA and CECB, the mean monthly number of customers in the CEC is 26.